That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
Series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Now on to the first par 3 of the U.S. Open here at Chambers Bay.
It's all in front of you. Beautiful view there in the distance. You can see the water. Once again, it does slope a little right to left. Don't have to go straight at the flag here. This one's a little bit of a sleeper.
Birdie try up next. Locked in on the read and the speed. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change from the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so it pushes him back to second.
Frank, so often a U.S. Open is defined by difficult par 4s. How does the 4th here at Chambers Bay stack up?
Well, Richard, adds to your list here. 495 yards, that says one thing, but the fact that it's anything other than straight, bunkers left and down the right side, plus the hole bends to the right, so this is a very strategic hole. If anything, something slightly left of center, but you're still going to have a lengthy second shot.
Well, now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And with that birdie, moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Wow, check out the elevation change, Frank, from tee all the way down to the fairway. No wonder they call this the 5th hole here at Chambers Bay. Free fall?
You better take a parachute, that's for sure, but you're going to need a parachute to land the ball and stop it on the screen as well. Not overly long, well, should I say U.S. Open standards, 488. These days they stretch it well over 500 yards. But one of the tighter tee shots. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, We'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that hole location. Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Frank, you've been there, down to the wire at several U.S. Opens. What's that pressure like?
It's so different from any other type of major championship because that's normally the toughest test. That's where the scores are the highest, i.e. relative to par. That's actually where par itself is a good score. I mean, you're bruised and battled by the end of the week. With the exception, really, remember when Rory McIlroy won at Congressional? That's the one time when a US Open played soft. But Martin Kaymer at Pinehurst on a firm, fast golf course, it's a different test. Tiger Woods at Pebble Beach. You just think of people struggling at the end of the week and really last man standing. That's what a US Open means.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Hello again and welcome to the U.S. Open. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're here at Chambers Bay with those massive rolling fairways, the towering dunes, unpredictable coastal winds. What a test, Frank, for the best players in the world.
That's right, and it's going to be the first time these professionals are going to play it. We've seen it host a U.S. Amateur in the past, and this is a daunting test, especially if the wind gets up. There's enough bunkers out there to trap the best players in the world. Those greens fast and firm enough to repel any shot that's not struck perfectly.
So the action is underway, and we'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Frank, you've been there so many times, really nothing like the first tee of a brand new championship.
The thought of the unknown, the beauty of sport, you and the golf course. Doesn't get any better, Rich. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
All right, Frank, how would you break down this approach shot here at the first at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's partially blind, so you've really got to fixate on the exact point that you want to aim at. That's one of the beauties of this golf course, so maybe even just have a little look and make sure you know that line, because once that ball hits the ground, the natural contours are going to take it in a certain direction. So really fixate on that line.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
In a very aggressive mode with that birdie now in second place.
Second hole now here at Chambers Bay and the U.S. Open, Frank. It's a relatively short par 4.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's easy, though. This is more of a strategic hole. You want to lay the ball up around sort of 270, 280 yards. Avoid that big bunker on the left. It is going to leave a short iron in, but the hole bends to the left as well as the slope of the land is right to left. Got to take that into account. Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
Frank, what's the best way to access the hole location on this second shot here at the second hole at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's really set up with a drive. If you can drive it down the right side, you get a better view. Plus, you can avoid that ridge that's in the middle of the green on the left side. If you're coming in from the left side, that bunker on the right, now you realize why they put that there. Because when you've got a skirt to the right of that ridge, that second shot becomes a little more difficult.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Now has a tie for the lead with that birdie.
And a pep in the stride.
Now on to the first par 3 of the U.S. Open here at Chambers Bay.
It's all in front of you. Beautiful view there in the distance. You can see the water. Once again, it does slope a little right to left. Don't have to go straight at the flag here. This one's a little bit of a sleeper.
That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. These putts keep the round together.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change in the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so pushes him back to second.
Frank, so often a U.S. Open is defined by difficult par 4s. How does the fourth here at Chambers Bay stack up?
Well, Richard, adds to your list here. 495 yards, that says one thing, but the fact that it's anything other than straight, bunkers left and down the right side, plus the hole bends to the right, so this is a very strategic hole. If anything, something slightly left of center, but you're still going to have a lengthy second shot.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Could use this one. This is for par. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Now the fifth hole here at the U.S. Open, and Frank, quite a dramatic tee shot.
Everything's really in front of you. You can see it from the elevated tee, bunkers left and right. That's not really the problem. One of the problems is that bunker just short, smack bang in the middle of the screen. So the chances of flying that bunker and stopping on the screen down breeze are probably next to none. So you're going to have to go in right or left of that bunker.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Now the approach shot here at the fifth hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green, because you're either going to have to go over it or around it.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Nice birdie to move to 3 under par for the tournament. Back down now to hole number 6. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, we have already seen some excellent play. Frank, what are some of the keys to keeping this early momentum?
Basically just trying to do the same things. We're seeing good driving, good approach play, and very good speed on the green right now. Keep doing the same thing.
He knew it right away, Frank. That's a good one.
Solid.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Just a couple of feet. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Well, Frank, this is what a U.S. Open is all about. A long, tough par 4 up the hill.
Yeah, just a beast. And it's a dogleg ride on top of that. There's more humps and bumps and all this than a dermatologist would ever dream of down there.
Excellent looking shot here.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
About 120 yards to the hole. Beautiful display of ball striking today, really in control, and that's another GIR, green in regulation.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Frank, we know we're at a U.S. Open. 500-yard par 4s, and here a better than 600-yard par 5 at the 8th.
Yeah, you need a missile really off the tee to be able to reach this par 5 and 2, and not a single bunker really on this hole. So this is just long every stretch of the way. The fairway actually looks a little bit narrower than what it is. There's a little bit more fairway than actually what meets the eye at first.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. I mean, that is very grand sounding. Like something that...
You're talking great God here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich.
Good-looking shot right here. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Now to 7 under par. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
It looks straightforward. You see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level. That club must have melted after that one.
The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green, that sort of turns this green into one simple green into all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Just an excellent shot right there, about 5 feet away. Good chance. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
So, Frank, trying to make three the conventional way, didn't have a go at this green. What's left now?
Just the yardage. If you've got a good yardage here, then all these undulations in this green really aren't that important. And that's the beauty of laying up. You've taken the risk off the tee and really the risk in and around this green. So a good second shot, distance control, and you're going to be well rewarded.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
Goodness, he pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. Second shot, good look at the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Misses the putt here, has to try again and add another stroke to the scorecard. So a tester from 4 feet. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey, drop shot here at the 13th. Clean this up with a tap.
In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole, too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. .167 yards on this hole. It's the 15th at the U.S. Open. Nice little par 3.
Oh, fun hole. Well bunkered with that. Once again, a bunker on a dominant side of the green. This time the right side. And one little pokey bunker there on the left side. Green's big enough. A few little contours in this green. Magnificent view, of course. But it's fun to have a hole that's not overly long.
Is a beauty, a real beauty. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Always like to get the double figures under par. 10 under already. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
We knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect, right down the middle of the fairway. Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par 4, so you know that the problem's going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay, and you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
Settles in over the putt. Score that a birdie. Now to the 17th, par 3 here at Chambers Bay.
Yeah, they say beached at 16, that's the name. This one's called derailed. So you imagine coming down the stretch of a US Open, exactly what you're going to require. That's your best golf, and you're going to need your best tee shot here at this par 3. It mightn't be overly long, but when you look at that green just sitting up there perched, this one you do not want to make a mistake in.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Solid play, heart of the green. Has this to save par. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. And it makes the green in regulation. So this is the third shot to the par 5. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, couldn't hit that much better.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo here to call the action for EA Sports at the U.S. Open Championship. We are at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. And Frank, this does not look like any U.S. Open golf course that I have seen.
No, it's quickly getting the respect of many of the golf pundits and writers out there as just this wonderful blend of links and parkland-style golf. It presents so beautifully to the eye, but also it challenges every aspect of your game. And really, you couldn't want for anything more than that when you were going to play a major championship.
Designed by Robert Trent Jones II with breathtaking views of the Puget Sound as well as the Olympic Mountains.
Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Now the approach here at hole number 1. And Frank, what are we looking at?
Well, semi-blind, but it's fine. You know, just a little peek and you can see what's in front of you. Really no bunkers down the left side. If you do miss down there, a little chip back up the hill, but it's a big enough green.
Good looking shot right here. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today.
Great start.
Second hole now here at Chambers Bay in the U.S. Open. Frank, it's a relatively short par 4.
It doesn't mean it's easy, though. This is more of a strategic hole. You want to lay the ball up around sort of 270, 280 yards, avoid that big bunker on the left. It is going to leave a short iron in, but the hole bends to the left as well as the slope of the land is right to left. Got to take that into account.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, what's the best way to access the hole location on this second shot here at the second hole at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's really set up with a drive. If you can drive it down the right side, you get a better view. Plus, you can avoid that ridge that's in the middle of the green on the left side. If you're coming in from the left side, that bunker on the right, now you realize why they put that there. Because when you've got a skirt to the right of that ridge, that second shot becomes a little more difficult.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, how about this start? Birdie to open the round. Now set to play the first par 3 of this U.S. Open, Frank, the third hole here at Chambers Bay.
A little bit like the second hole where the contours slope from right to left. So if that breeze is coming from that direction, that's going to swing the ball all the way across the green. And this green is anything other than symmetrical.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This for par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, the fourth hole here at Chambers Bay is the kind of par 4 that says emphatically U.S. Open.
Yeah, it's not a rarity these days to have par 4s that are around 500 yards. This is just slightly shy of that. Once again, it's a stiff tee shot. Avoid trouble left and right. A little bit of a bend to the right on this hole, but don't be fooled by that. If anything, the drive has to be hit down the left side.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
I'll tell you what, Phil the Thrill, Phil Mickelson could not have done it any better. What a bunker shot. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Fifth hole here at the U.S. Open. Frank, why do they call it free fall?
I guess because you can make a mess here. You just keep going down. Bunkers left and right. There's acres of sand on the left and right. And just one little measly bunker. But it's smack bang in the front of the screen.
And a huge elevation change from tee to fairway.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, what do we have with the approach shot here at the fifth?
Just got to be cognizant of that bunker. That's you can see it there. That's just central front of this green. You've either got to go around it, or if you're good enough, then you go straight over it. But you've got to have a ton of spin on the second shot.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. Let's putt for birdie. Count that. That's a birdie. Getting set to hit the tee shot here at the 6th at Chambers Bay. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
There's a nice dune down that left side that sort of gives you a good line that you can work the ball off here. But remember, this is a links golf course, so you don't try and fight Mother Nature because she'll always win. So just anything down the left, let that ball sort of kick its way back towards the middle of the fairway. A lengthy par 4, though, at 495.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Birdie try again here today. Good putt. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why there's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at the screen. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Now the approach shot here at the 7th, Frank, and this one is up the hill.
It is, and the green is sort of split into thirds. There's a little piece back left, there's a piece back right, and that bigger portion in the front. So once again, you got to choose what shot am I trying to hit, and do I have the right club? Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, we know we're at a U.S. Open. 500-yard par 4s, and here a better than 600-yard par 5 at the 8th.
Yeah, you need a missile really off the tee to be able to reach this par 5 and 2, and not a single bunker really on this hole. So this is just long every stretch of the way. The fairway actually looks a little bit narrower than what it is. There's a little bit more fairway than actually what meets the eye at first. Does it come down yet? Not only is it straight, it's mega long.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Rich Lerner and Frank Nobilo back with you here at Chambers Bay in the U.S. Open. Now to the 9th hole, closing out this front side.
Well, it just goes to show the tremendous variety that the designer Robert Trent Jones II has done here. We've seen already a tremendous variation, and then this sort of just goes on top of it. Elevated tee, goes down to a green that just slopes a little bit to the right, well bunkered on the right. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Got away with one right there. Just missed that bunker.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand the whole way.
It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
It looks straightforward. You see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, we just came off that long par 4 at the 11th, well over 500 yards. Now at the 12th, we go in the opposite direction. This has become a staple at a U.S. Open, the reachable par 4.
Yeah, the logic would say just grab sort of a mid-iron to a long iron, knock it down, wedge it on there, and have no strain, no sweat. But who's going to play golf like that? Take the head cover off. Come on, chance it. It's called narrows. The odds are going to be narrow, but you just might hit the green.
So, Frank, trying to make 3 the conventional way, didn't have a go at this green. What's left now?
Just the yardage. If you've got a good yardage here, then all these undulations in this green really aren't that important. And that's the beauty of laying up. You've taken the risk off the tee and really the risk in and around this green. So a good second shot, distance control, and you're going to be well rewarded.
Just a couple of feet. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
With just 6 holes left to play here at the U.S. Open, we arrive at the 13th. It's a dogleg par 4 to the right.
And in a U.S. Open, obviously 534 yards means if you make a mistake off the tee, the chances of making 4 here are minimal. So fairway first. It is one of the wider fairways on the golf course. You're still going to have a lengthy second shot, and you must avoid the bunker that guards the front of this green.
Caught that one flush, Frank. That was beautiful.
What was the movie again? Dead, solid, perfect.
The second shot now to the par 4. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
Boy, that one is deep. Every bit of that ball. All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, this green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left, and towards this green there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favor. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a U.S. Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Getting set now over the putt. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
It's where we start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first once again. You'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It will make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here. Drops for a birdie. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3, will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Merion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
Birdie try up next. Good putt. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again, you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. He's made it. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878, in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze and the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really you sort of make your hay on the way out and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from them?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So the prevailing breeze normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's 2 bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the burn. That's about 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that's just going to leave you a short iron in.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Didn't knock down the flagstick, but he still has a chance.
21 steps, or should I say feet.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
He has this attempt for par. To -2 early in the round. Rich Lerner back with you at Royal Troon. Frank, first par 5 of the round. What's ahead?
Our best opportunity for a birdie here is to take it over the bunker on the right. If you do that, you're going to get a little added roll and go in here even with perhaps a mid-iron or a long iron. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Second shot. Oh, this is right at it.
How about that terrific approach shot, setting up a makeable eagle putt? Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole. A little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Located in Troon, Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports. Alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
This would be a bonus from 25 feet away. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Rich, I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods in the third round. Do you know what he shot that day?
It was low. It was a great round, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the lowest round he's ever shot in the Open Championship. 64 to be precise. Justin Leonard went on to win the Open Championship that year.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
1 under early in the round. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind. Oh, that's fine.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
His momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Hole number 4, Frank, can you cut the corner on the tee shot on this dogleg right par 5?
Well, Rich, you have to guarantee you can carry the ball at least 280 yards. That bunker that protects that side is the big problem if you go down the right. I'm loving that balance.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Do that.
At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side.
Not quite where he was aiming, but still enough room to get it up and down.
It's no snack, though.
Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner. Alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo, we are along the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Frank, on a mission here today, what can you tell us about this course?
Well, one thing, Rich, we don't want to fatigue out there, so I've got my battle gear on. Interesting layout ahead. Plenty of water. The island's there to be negotiated, navigated, and you never know what just might pop up during the course of the game.
And partner, let me just, before we get started, salute you.
I salute you too, Rich. You ready?
Ready. Aim.
Fire.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. -1 in the early going. Frank, as we look at the second, your average hole with, say, a few bunkers, maybe even a pond, that would be a walk in the park compared to what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, early surveillance said that guard shack just to the right of the green is actually not empty, so be a little aware of that when you cross the bridge. Green just 167 yards away, though, from the tee.
All in all, Frank, doesn't look too bad.
Just maybe a little right of the flag.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
And that drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round.
A little bit of guesstimation required here. Well, radio in the yardage, 216 yards to the middle of the green, and you've got to carry the destroyer. So this has to come down from quite a bit of height. Wind a little off the left.
Needless to say, tough defense setup around this green.
Well protected.
So at the third, the approach is on the green, but it's a long ways from the cup, about 30 feet away. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus.